Okay, hello everyone. This video is an answer to a question regarding how you can create a login for a number of users and how you can retrieve information for the person who just logged in. Okay, so this is going to be a simplified example. There are lots of things that you shouldn't do. I'm just illustrating the basic idea here. Here what we have is a single table, and we have the users. It's called users. It contains the basic information such as user ID, okay, and the password. Keep in mind, in real life situation, if you are having a table that contains a password, you should encrypt the passwords. You should never keep the password plain and simple like this, okay? You should always encrypt it. This is just, as I said, as an example. And we have some kind of dummy information for 1, 2, 3. So Smith here is having has his information S1, S2, S3, John J1, J2, J3, Todd T1, T2, T3, and so on. Each one has his own password. What are we gonna do? We are gonna see how we can create a simple login and how we can retrieve the information. Okay, so here we go. So we have this form, okay, and let's say we want to display the information here. First thing to do, we're gonna add a data source. Click next. We're gonna select a new connection. Select change here. We're gonna select access. Okay. Then select to browse. Let's go to the desktop, and this is our test table. Okay, and test the connection to make sure everything is correct. Okay. Press next. I'm gonna include this database into my application, and next the table is the only table available, which is users, and finish. Okay, so obviously we have here we are having the users table, right? Now what we need to do is provide some kind of an interface that allow us to filter based on the name and the password. Okay, so how do you filter this table based on the name and password? Okay, this is how you do it. It is actually a lookup operation. First thing, you're gonna double click on the data set. Here what you see is the full and get data, right? And now we are gonna add a query here, and it is gonna be a select statement. Press next, and now we are gonna select the first one. Next. So now select user ID, password, etc. Now our condition is where user ID equal 0. Okay, this will allow me to retrieve the information of any user I want. The colon 0 here means I will supply the parameter at runtime. Okay, I can also filter based on the password, okay, and PSW equal colon 1. Okay, so I can filter based on both. Okay, So now I'm gonna press next. Yeah, and I'm gonna press next and finish. So we are having this special method, okay, which is full by and get data by. Now if you go to the parameters here and you click the ellipse, okay, wait a minute, let me check the, yeah, we need to specify two parameters. So here I didn't specify these, so this is the first parameter and this is the second. The first parameter is gonna be uname for username, okay, and source column I'm gonna link this with the user ID, and the second parameter is the pass, and this one is going to be I'm gonna link it with the password column. Okay, so we are gonna specify these two parameters, the username and the password. Okay, and again it's important, this is colon 0, this is colon 1, and okay. Sorry. Now we are ready to read the information and filter that information. Okay, so what should we do here? Okay, so first thing to do, we need to create a form to perform the login operation. We can use the same form. I'm gonna add a login form, so right click and add, and select Windows form. Okay, yeah, so I am gonna select login form, this one. Okay, and it's gonna be called login form 1, so my login, for example, and select add. Okay, so we have here username and we have a password. Okay, and if you don't have this, you can create this, it's just a text box and labels. Okay, so the OK method is gonna close it, and the OK and cancel both are gonna close it. Now I need to specify the result of this dialog. Okay, so me dot dialog result equal cancel. Okay, and me dot dialog result equal okay. So I just specified these two. Now I can do the filtering here, or I can do the filtering in the main application. So let's go to the main application here, and I am gonna I'm gonna drop this as wait a minute, I'm gonna drag this and drop it here. Okay, now first of all I'm gonna just display the information. So the obviously the password is something I don't want people to see. The user ID and the information is something I want to see here, and it's the information for a single person, so there is no need for navigation here. Okay, so far so good, right? Now the second step, how we are gonna fill this. Okay, double click on the form. So this is where the form starts to get starts loading. So I am gonna display the login screen. So dimension r equal wait a minute, if my login dot show dialog equal cancel, then end. Okay, what does that mean? I'm gonna show the login window as a dialog, and if I press the cancel button, then I'm gonna end the application. I will not display anything. Otherwise, I'm gonna do something different. So here I'm gonna get the username password. So dimension un a string equal my login dot username text box dot text, and dimension pw a string equal my login dot password text box dot text. So I am getting these two. Now I am gonna do the following. I am gonna filter this one. So here, instead of using the full method which fills the data set with all the rows, I'm gonna use the full by which I created earlier. If you forgot about it, it's here, and when we created we got the name full by here. Okay, so let's go back. Hopefully you're not confused with this. So I'm gonna use full by. Okay, sorry. Okay, and then I need to specify the username and password. Okay, username and pw. As I said before, usually you should encrypt the passwords. You don't store the passwords the way they are. Okay, and basically this is gonna check the information, and you will get a result if and only if there is a match. So we have, I think John is 1, 2, 3 or something like that, right? So let me just have a look here. Sorry, we have a Smith 1, 2, 3, John 4, 5, 6, and Todd. Yeah. So let's try our application now. So first thing here, I'm gonna run this, and there we go. So we have this form. It's asking for the username, and now I'm gonna say cancel. The application stopped. I'm gonna use the name Smith and 1, 2, 3 and enter, and as you can see here, I'm getting the information of a Smith because the data is filtered based on Smith. Now I'm gonna repeat that. John, now 4, 5, 6 if I'm not mistaken, and this is the information of John. And now I'm gonna enter some wrong information, a user that doesn't exist at all, and press OK, and there is nothing. Okay, one of the things that you want to check is that if there is no user with or there is no matching username and password, you want to give a message. Okay, so we are gonna work on this now. So here, let me put some here. I'm gonna check this. So if me.testdataset.users.rows.count equals 0, then if there is no rows, this means it is a wrong username and password, MSG box, wrong username or wrong password, and I am gonna end the application here. Okay, and let's see how this works now. Okay, so here I'm gonna enter some random information, press OK, wrong username or wrong password, and there we go. I'm gonna enter the information of Todd now. Todd, and I'm gonna enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, I guess. I forgot 890, sorry. Todd 89 and 0. Okay, and this is the information of Todd. Okay, now this is not the only way you can do it. There are multiple ways to perform a login. Okay, but this is the easiest. Okay, there are a number of things that you must keep in mind when you are creating a login. For example, as I said before, the most important is the password. The password must be encrypted. If the password is stored encrypted and you want to filter, you can encrypt the password entered by the user and then search. Okay, this could also help. Also, the information might not be stored in one table, it might be stored in multiple tables. Okay, here all the information is stored in this one table only. If you are having multiple tables, you must know what is the primary key and filter on that. For example, if we have, for example, jobs for each user, so let me show you here. For example, user ID, and then we are having a job ID. Okay, and both of these are primary key. So here we are having okay, let's call this jobs. Okay, and then we have, for example, Smith, he must do some report. Okay, and Smith, he must also, for example, do some some I don't know, filling forms or whatever. Okay, and Todd must do some project progress report or something like that. Now you want to get the information of Smith. Okay, obviously this table is using the user ID Smith here, so what you have to do in your application is to filter this table based on the user ID as well, and this is very easy. You do something very similar to what we did in our example. Okay, so this is how you do a login form. It's just a lookup in the table. That's all. I hope you'll find this useful. If you have further questions, send them to me. Okay, that will be all. Have a nice day.